Hey, Coach Ryan here at Peak Fitness and Sports Training, and today we're going to talk about 3 ways that we can basically up your core game. So a lot of people love to do abs, and there's no shortage of people that start with us who don't love their core training, but what we see a lot of times is they're not really being as effective with their training as they can be. So we're going to show you the 3 biggest flaws that we see and how you guys can correct them today to really step your core game up. So number 1, we're going to look at position, okay? You can't really use your abs effectively until we find the best position. So I'm going to have Ben just kneel tall here for me for a second. And what we want to think of when we look at the core is we're creating a box here. So we've got 2 sides, a front and a back, and a top and a bottom with his rib cage and pelvis basically being stacked on top of each other. Too often we see people lose the top and bottom of the box and get in this nice extended position. Basically, your abs are going to take a vacation and we're going to use your low back muscles and not really any of that core. So in a plank, it might look like this. Ben gets down, okay, and you're going to see this big sway. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but there's a lot of wrinkles in the shirt here telling me that he's got a lot of tone. You can also see he's extended his neck a little bit to try and find this position. So here, the abs on the front are stretched out and they're not doing their job. He's stabilizing with something else other than abs. Go ahead and relax. Now you might feel your abs a little bit, but we see a lot of people when we put them in the right position, their abs literally start to shake. So show me just a good position. So here Ben's got his hips under, okay? Still got a little bit of tension here that we want to work on, but right now, at least this portion, he's creating better tension. So learning how to kind of tuck the pelvis just a little bit and get that rib cage and pelvis facing each other, basically closing the top and bottom of the box. That's your first step. The second step's not really something I can demonstrate for you. You can relax. But it's breathing. A lot of people want to take holding their breath as a supplement for true core stability. But when you're in a real stable position, you're going to have tight and tense abs, but be able to breathe behind that shield or breathe behind that braced core. And the last thing we want to talk about is exercise selection. So I have been demonstrating both a plank and what we call Pallof press here. The plank is really the first exercise you need to master, because if you don't control this front and back or side angle position of your core, all the rotational work, the side ab work that you're going to do is not going to be nearly as effective. So position starts by controlling that core front to back. So if you need to, we can regress this to a lying exercise that we call the dead bug. Go ahead and bring your knees up. Okay. With this position, Ben's able to find that core that he needs. So there's some slight contact between his low back and the ground. He's got a nice long spine all the way from the back of his head to his tailbone. So we've effectively given him some extra support to brace his abs. What we want to do in the dead bug is take 2 spears and reach nice and high to the ceiling. Okay? Notice his head stays down. That reach is going to help close the top of that box. And what he's going to do here is just alternate legs out towards the floor as low as he can go without that back lifting up. This is going to be the first step in learning to maintain that core position. Once you can knock out about 10 reps per side, you can start to get back into that front plank, and without the support at your low back, see if you can get organized through the core. So just a quick review. You want to get the right position first. You want to learn how to breathe while doing your stabilization exercises, and then we want to make sure we pick the right choices. So learn how to do the dead bug and the front plank before you progress to more advanced variations. I'm Coach Ryan. This has been 3 ways to get your core game up.